something that we're all familiar with. And the core thought behind this idea of the beloved community is agape love. Agape is a Greek word. It's not the love I would express like, man, I love that lasagna, boy. You know, it's not the love that we express when we're infatuated with another man or woman. We're not talking about this love. We're talking about the love, in Dr. King's words, is an overflowing love. A love that is purely spontaneous, unmotivated, groundless, and creative. This is the love that brings us to a beloved community. Agape is the love that is God operating in our heart. You see, this is something that begins within us and proceeds through us. It's not something that comes from outside and then is given or received to us. Well, you know, love, you can look up love all over the Bible. But today I want to go to the first letter of John in the 4th verse, the 4th chapter. And he clearly says, God is love. And those who abide in God, God abides in them. And so God is love, clearly. Not God withhold love, God conditions love, God may love us. If we're good, you know, God will throw us some love. It clearly says God is love, and those who abide in love abide in God, and God abides in them. Period. And so if we're looking for God anywhere else but inside of us, then we're looking to someone's thought or idea about God that conflicts with the Bible. And then it goes on, it says, love has been perfected among us in this. Remember, this was written, 30, 40, 60 years after Jesus died. This is like sort of the first news report that we have. We're not talking about 2,000 years of doctrine. We're talking about the first understanding of love. And it says, God is love. Love has been perfected us. Love has perfected us in this. And so that we may have boldness on the day of judgment. And every time we hold a thought is the day of judgment. Every time we push through something, it's the day of judgment. And every time we retreat in our mind, it's the day of judgment. And so we may have boldness on the day of judgment because as He is, so are we in the world. Sounds like a great example, not a great exception to me. There is no fear in love because perfect love casts out fear. Fear has to do with punishment, it says. And whoever fears has not reached perfection in love. We love because He first loved us. And so just our beingness is pure love. Nothing else is necessary. Those who say, I love God and hate their brothers and sisters are liars, it says. For those who do not love a brother or sister whom they have seen cannot love God whom they have not seen. The commandment we have from Him is this: those who love God must love his brothers and sisters. And to bring that a little deeper, we must love all of ourselves. We can't exclude a shadow part of ourselves and say, this is the part of me I don't like. This is my old behavior I don't like. But this part of me I like. We have to be fully embracing and love ourselves. Unity's co-founder, Charles Fillmore, in Keep a True Lent, he writes about that specific scripture I just read. And he says, love in divine mind is the idea of universal unity. In expression, it is the power that joins and binds together the universe and everything in it. Love is a harmonizing, constructive power. when it is made active in consciousness, some big words that say when we think about it, it conserves substance and reconstructs, rebuilds, and restores man in his world. As I make a perfect union between my mind and the loving mind of the Father, I realize a goodness everlasting and joy beyond expression. The point of contact is a willingness and a seeking on my part. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened. We think about this. What does Mr. Fillmore say? The power in us for everlasting joy and happiness is to connect with an intelligent understanding of God. Because he goes on and he says, love overcomes hate, resistance, opposition, obstinacy, anger, jealousy, and all other error states where there is mental or physical friction. See, love is an idea. It is not something. Love is a thought, an idea that we hold and we assign a value to in our life. Hate is an idea. Resistance is an idea. Opposition is an idea. Anger, jealousy. Mr. Fillmore says these are error states, but if we go up to the buffet in life and fill up our plate with anger and jealousy and hate, then that is what we will eat. You know, this week I had the glorious opportunity to see the Dalai Lama speak about compassion as a pillar. And he described this healing friction that the whole world needs to go through. And as I was driving back from the event, I was thinking about all the thoughts that cross our mind in any given day. Man, like the rush hour of thoughts that show up of every different shape and size and emotion and feeling, loving thoughts and angry thoughts, forgiving thoughts, resentful thoughts, thoughts that dream and vision and believe in possibilities, and thoughts that look and fear and lack and doubt. You know, sometimes if a challenge is in our life and we're going through it, we actually feel like our mind is like a pendulum, or we're on some sort of metaphorical seesaw. And we just hope we stop on the positive side as opposed to the negative side. Like, please, let's just hang out in the thoughts that believe in possibility and not the ideas that believe in problems. All of our outer lives, they reflect the inner dialogue that we have with ourselves. For today's topic, let's notice something very important. That if we're in a challenge or we're confused about something, or we feel conflicted, we are both the oppressed and the oppressor in that very situation.